Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark Bradshaw and I'm very proud to say that I am the head teacher of Hutton Church of England Grammar School. Normally I will be speaking with you in the school's main hall and around the school site. I will be encouraging you to speak with our wonderful staff and students. I will be enthusing about the work going on in our classrooms and asking you to take a look for yourself. Clearly, ladies and gentlemen, I can't do that this year. This year is a very different year, not like anything we have seen before and hopefully not like anything we will ever see again. Instead, what I can do is encourage you to watch the accompanying clips on our website, listen to what our staff and students have to tell you about life at Hutton, and forward any questions you have. What I can also do is tell you about us as a school, our ethos and expectations, and what your son should expect should he and you decide that Hutton is the right school for him. As a school, we have a fantastic reputation both within the local and wider communities for our academic excellence, our extracurricular engagement and prowess, and the fact that we help produce young people who go out into the wider world encompassing the qualities of our mission statement: accomplishment, humility, and service. We want and expect every person who walks through these doors to do all they can to make sure that they accomplish all that is possible, both academically and socially, be humble by treating everyone with respect, and serve God, the school, and the wider community. So how do we do this? By working together with you as parents and carers to ensure that the young men who walk through these doors become the best that they can be. You have my promise that we will always do our best to help, support and challenge your son, that we will let you know when things are going wrong and work with you to put them right, and that we will communicate with you regularly so that you know what your son is doing well and how we can do even better in the future. There was, as always, a great deal in the media this August about examination results. Whilst you might have read lots about the comparison of centre-assessed grades against a computer algorithm and the accompanying fallout, there was very little about actual student outcomes. There were no national figures to compare students against, and little has actually been made of just how well those young adults performed. If you look at the results at Hutton, ladies and gentlemen, you will see that the performance of our students was very impressive indeed, that the hard work and dedication of the young men paid off, although their time with us was cut short, and that they were very well placed to take the next steps in their lives, whether that was at our sixth form, beginning an apprenticeship, or starting a new life in the world of work, to name just three types of destination. You might then go on to argue that this year's results, even taking into consideration all of the hard work of the students, can't really be compared to previously and aren't really an indication of a school's academic rigour. In that case, it might be worthwhile to look back over previous year's results, not just last year's, but the average over the last 3 years. If you look at the world in which we live, a world which at the moment in particular seems to provide new stories every day, which suggest that all aspects of life are becoming increasingly competitive, where competition for college and university places, where competition for apprenticeships, where competition for jobs becomes more and more intense, you might be forgiven for thinking that your sons will be at a disadvantage. When you take a look at national figures over the last 3 years and beyond, you will see that for all headline measures, boys simply do not perform as well as all students in general, and certainly not as well as girls. That is not the case here. As you can see from the tables, not only do Hutton boys perform significantly better than boys elsewhere, they also perform significantly better than what is classed as all students, that is boys and girls. You might then come to the conclusion, even given the information above, that boys at Hutton are still at a disadvantage when in comparison to girls nationally. Well, here, boys perform significantly better than girls nationally too, in many headline measures. But I'd also like to talk to you not just about results, but about progress. Not just how well students do at achieving grade 4 or grade 5, grade 7 or grade 9, but about how well they do in comparison with how well they should do. How much do they improve? How much better do they get? How do the qualifications they leave match up against the qualifications they should leave with? Amongst all of the information about results and outcomes, you may well have heard about a government benchmark or accountability measure called Progress 8. Progress 8 judges a school based upon how well their students achieve, across a variety of subjects based on their starting point. In short, do they, in their 5 years at school, do as well as they should, make as much progress as they should, when taking into consideration where they were when they started in Year 7? This means that nationally each year, a school in which all its students in Year 11 do exactly as well as they should would come out with a Progress 8 score of somewhere near to 0. Equally, a school which has all of its Year 11 students not performing or make as much progress as they should would have a negative Progress 8 score. And a school where all of Year 11 did better than they were expected would have a positive Progress 8 score. Nationally, based on validated data over the last 3 years, boys perform on average minus 0.25 or a quarter of a grade worse than they should across 8 subjects. This can often be the difference between a grade 3 and a grade 4, a grade 7 and a grade 8. Not here, ladies and gentlemen. Here, students perform, on average, 0.06 better than they should across 8 subjects. And so, when we put those two together, this means that on average, boys here do plus 0.31 or roughly a third of a grade better than all boys nationally across 8 subjects, not just in 1 or 2. In short, students at Hutton do better than other students elsewhere because we expect them to do so. We develop them in order that they do so, and we support them to ensure, wherever possible, that they do so. What I'm equally proud of, however, are the things you can't judge. The atmosphere within the school, the opportunities students are given, the respect we show to each other. These things are just as important, and we strive to make them even better every single day. We offer a huge range of extracurricular opportunities in support of this. As you will see in presentations elsewhere, our clubs range from swimming to chess, rugby to Dungeons and Dragons. We support local food banks, raise money for charities including Macmillan Cancer Support, Fair Trade and Gene Therapy Research. We bought farm animals for villages in Africa, won odd socks to raise money for hurricane victims in the Caribbean. And in a few weeks' time, I'm wearing yellow to help raise awareness of mental health issues. This year sees once again the continuation of our own Huttonian Award, which links our core Christian values with the concept of accomplishment, humility and service. Something we are passionate about and which Mr Livingston, our head of Year 7, will discuss in an accompanying presentation. We have a thriving and ever-developing house system where students are placed in houses in Year 7 and stay there until the end of Year 13, competing on the sports field and in the classroom for house points. During the last 3 years, the school has been paid visits by Ofsted and the Church of England Inspectorate. During those separate visits, they held numerous meetings, visited lots of lessons, talked to staff and students, and spent time around the school site at break, lunchtime and after school. These are just a few of the things that they wrote. I'm very proud of those comments, ladies and gentlemen. Comments which pay real tribute to many of the things we do at Hutton. I'm also proud because the comments recognise the incredibly positive attitude of the young men and women who make up most of our school community. A community which, I am sure, your sons will make an equally positive contribution to. As a school, our job is to help mould hard-working, decent, honest young men who are well placed to leave us at 18 and make a positive contribution to society. As a school, we've been here for hundreds of years. If you look at the memorial gate outside school, you will see the recognition of and gratitude for those old Huttonians who served in the Great War. For me, the importance and development of those values doesn't change. The development of the whole person is just as important as it has ever been. Developing young men who can compete with the best this country has to offer, academically, socially, spiritually, and in terms of the strength of their character. I firmly believe that as a student at Hutton, your son has the best opportunity to succeed, to achieve the very best GCSE results he can, to stay with us at 16 and achieve the very best A-level results he can, to make the most of our outstanding links with the universities and employers to gain access to the very best courses he can. In short, we, along with yourselves, can give him the very best chance he can to live a successful, productive life. I sincerely hope, ladies and gentlemen, that after visiting us, albeit virtually, this evening, listening to us and seeing what we have to offer, this will mark the beginning of a long and important partnership between yourselves as parents, your son and the school. As you see and hear what we have to offer, you will notice that what we do is accompanied by lines of scripture which encompass our values. You will hear comments emphasising the importance of being happy, about good works being rewarded, and about how we should be proud of what and who we are. Of all the scripture we try to live our lives by as a school community, the one I believe sums up our ethos the best, and the one which underpins all we do in school, is this one. You have my promise, ladies and gentlemen, that we will always encourage and support your son to be the best that they can be, whether that is on the sports field, in the classroom, in our local and wider community. We will encourage and support them to be the best student, the best teammate, the best friend, the best role model throughout their time here. Excellence, and the expectation of it, isn't one-dimensional, and we will always do our utmost to develop it in all its forms. If you would like any further information or to ask any questions about what has been said this evening, additional information about admissions or general inquiries, please do not hesitate to email us at admissions2021@huttongrammar.org. Thank you for listening. I hope you take time to look at the accompanying videos and, again, albeit virtually, spend some time with us. Thank you.
My arm. I wasn't anticipating that was going to wake.
Is that all right?